You guys remember the movie Zombieland with Jesse Eisenberg, cowboy guy, Emma Stone, and then the girl from Little Miss Sunshine? So in that movie, there's a line that says, rule number 22, when in doubt, know your way out. And I feel like that's a pretty good rule, man. Like, you're going through something and you don't know what to do. At least, kind of have a somewhat backup plan. Whether that backup plan may be like getting a part-time job or maybe mowing some grass, maybe, making lemonade on the side. I think when in doubt, knowing your way out is definitely a good thing to know, especially if you're in high school. And I know some of my listeners on here are actually in high school or maybe middle school, young ones. But, like when you get older, it's good to have, like a somewhat decent plan. I'm not telling you to have a full detailed itinerary here, but, maybe sophomore, junior year, you're starting to think about what's next. It doesn't mean you got to go to college or go to get a job right away. But when you get 18, man, some people are going to be like, hey, you're on your own. I've seen that happen time and time again. People turn 18 and their parents say, all right, move out. And you're like, I didn't know you guys were going to do that to me. It's like, nobody knew. They had enough. They had enough of you eating all the pizza rolls or whenever they'd bring it home. You're like, why'd you get traditional? I like pepperoni. All of a sudden, you're kicked out. You're looking for jobs, 1 minute you're complaining about what pizza rolls you want. Or here, I should restart that. 1 minute you're saying, Mom, why'd you get me traditional? And the next minute, you're in your room packing your bags, man. That's the harsh reality, man. It could be anything. It could be any type of food. It could be any type of thing, Mom, why'd you get the sugar-free wafers? I like the regular ones with the sugar. What do you mean I got to get a job? What do you mean I got to move out? What do you mean I got to make my own dentist appointment? Yeah, I got to go there on my own? Hey, man, that stuff happens. So all those young ones out there, remember, be ready for that. Have somewhat of a plan here. Helps in anything, especially if you aren't a young one, you're someone maybe my age. It's good to have a job, and lined up. Not quitting your job unless you got one, too. Oh. If you can make it work and you're I've heard all the fucking people say, hey, Bill Gates dropped out. I'm going to drop out. All these successful entrepreneurs, they dropped out and left. It's like, okay, yeah, but they did something when they dropped out. They weren't maxing out their 2K player guy. They weren't buying VC with that. They weren't spending that time on the park. They're spending it on that thing, I hear that time and time again. And if you need some time off, hey, that's, maybe a new job or new something, new scenery is good for you. But don't throw everything away. But I'm all for that, man. I know some people actually who have actually stepped away from their job and they've been much happier. And that's the goal. If as long as you're happier, that's good. But, we don't need to go down a long tangent list of things. And anyway, today is a new day. We are here on another episode of the Dom Joseph Podcast. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys don't know who I am Dom. Pretty great, pretty cool to be here. What else is going on in the world? So today, actually, as of the time of recording, is a little bit of a later or earlier date than this would be released. But I should say that been a little busy trying to stay consistent here. Does not mean I'm losing any passion for this at all. So don't even get any inkling of an idea about that. But I was actually, what was I doing? I was actually with some buddies, and we were talking. We were window washing with one another, and I had to pull aside one of my friends, and I said, "Hey, come over here, watch how I do this, so you don't have to ask next time. You have to do it." You know, that's that ultimate uncle right there. That uncle move on somebody. Just come over here and watch. If you come and watch right now, you don't got to worry about it later in life. You know, changing tires, fixing a. Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the talk when you put a hole in the wall. All right, well, now we got to go get some drywall, and you're gonna have to learn how to fix it. Let me show you how to do this now. It's like you're like totally minding your own business. Like there's just a random hole in the wall. Uncle comes over, barges in your room. Hey, come watch me fix this hole in the wall so you can help your mom when she's, when she needs help. Hurry up. And then you're on you got your headset on. I gotta go. But yeah, I was changing my wipers on my car, and I called my buddy over. Hey, watch me now. I just think that's funny, man. I mean, because he obviously already knew how to do it. But that's something, man. And we were talking about, tribal stuff. This isn't even at window washing anymore. This is different stuff. I don't remember what we were doing at this point. We were talking, and a lot of politics come up. Last names come up. A lot of all that drama comes up in Native country. Really easy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but, gossip comes easy on the res. It can be like, hey, man, how you doing? It's like, oh, but did you see on Facebook? That's the second. They don't even answer, how are you doing? They're like, well, did you see what happened on Facebook? And then they'll tell you how they're doing. Facebook is like the number one thing they all result to. Hey, Auntie, how you been? Been better. You seen Facebook today? No. That's like the new news. Back then it would be like, hey, do you see King 5 today? Como 4? Q13? I don't know. Don't get upset at me about whatever newscast I listen to. But that's how it is. Oh yeah. I did see Facebook this morning, and it was just a memory. What do you see on yours? And then they, that's the look you get when you ask, well, what'd you see on, or this is how it goes. I'm a little bit mixing my words up today, so apologies for being a little there. But you go, hey, Auntie, how's it going? Well, you see Facebook? No, what happened? They shake their head and they sit down, sometimes cross their legs. And then they start saying, well, we're driving on the res, and these kids we pulled over and told them to straighten up. And then now their mom's on Facebook saying that we yelled at their kids, but we just told them they shouldn't be playing in the road. So now we got the whole res on there talking about how we're yelling at these innocent kids, but they were the ones in the road. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so I deleted it. I deleted them. They ain't my friend no more on there. I don't want to see their posts about their vacations, their kids. They're always posting about, when they're out doing yoga. We don't want to see that. Jeez, Auntie. It's serious. That's usually how it goes, man. Facebook be getting serious. People be like, yeah, man. No, did you see that post he made about his girlfriend on Facebook? Oh my God. One every week. It's gonna start slowing down here soon. Oh my God. And then occasionally you see the posts on Facebook too of, the people who are just doing their job and they want a little bit more praise for it. It's like, oh yeah, look at me here I am out here doing this for the community. Just thought I'd share it for you guys. It's like, you get paid every 2 weeks to do that now. You're not doing this out of the kindness of your own heart here. Yeah, I'm out here, doing this and just feeling real traditional about it. You're also getting paid pretty good over there, too. I'm pretty sure my cousin applied and he didn't get the job because you said it was a one-man thing and you're holding all the money. That's what happens, man. Yeah, I'm out here doing this for the community. All right, how about we sacrifice that paycheck then? See, if you're still out here doing it for the community, I get people got to eat. People got to get paid. But don't come on here and brag around on Facebook for the community. You're doing it for the money. Serious. I don't know if I told this story last week. Actually, I think I did. It was about like who stole my Jordans. Like, bro, you brought your Jordans in the locker room. That would happen a lot. You know, that happened to me one time. I was at the YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association. That's what they call it. It's no longer called that. I was playing basketball and I had the brand new iPhone 5S. At the time, I thought I was just ahead of the game. I thought. And man, you know when where's my phone? Who has my phone? Start yelling around. Everyone's just like, dang, that is the worst, man. Getting your phone stolen. Like, you know, you steal my wallet and my cash. I probably don't have much cash on me no more. But the thing about losing your license is like, yeah, losing your wallet is your license and your tribal ID. Because then you got to walk in there, go get a new ID. You know, everyone takes it all serious when you say, hey, I don't got my ID. All right, well, what happened to it? I lost it. You never get like, oh, I understand, man. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of endless cards here we can make. You get a certain amount a year. No worries. But you say you lose a tribal ID to the representative, they're just like, why? How do you lose that? How do you lose your wallet? How do you lose your keys? You lose them. Sometimes they fall in the Puget Sound down in the water. I didn't have a floater thing on my keychain there. Is that what you wanted me to say? Or my kids took it and they put it in the shredder on accident. Is that a more viable excuse than I lost my tribal? I don't know where it is. You never get any like, oh, that's fine. It's just, well, I guess we can get you a new one. I don't know where this comes from, man. I'll be honest here. I'll be 100% honest with you. I go to the IHS. I've been to many IHSs around. And, Res Dogs did an episode, and the front lady at IHS, and how they give you that same attitude, And under the HERPA law or whatever, they're not allowed to tell anyone. But I swear at these IHSs, it's a little bit different. At least they tell at least one person. That's like the new law. I feel like that's the law at the health clinic. Yeah, we won't tell anyone. But I could tell my coworker right next to me, and they can tell their one person, and then their one person. That's what it feels like to me. But although I've never had anybody come up to me and say anything about my health stuff. So I should say, they probably aren't. So for the sake of this podcast, that was a joke. Before we get all intestines twined up and stuff. Even though they are already. But anyways, you go to IHS, they're going to give you that same type feeling, man. I'll be honest. This is me being honest here. This is a true story I made up here. I was at IHS, not in staləḻ. So before everyone starts testifying against staləḻ, it was not there. I was actually out of town. And I went into IHS, and I was like, yo, I need some help. Blah, blah, blah. I think it was something with my finger or something. But I said, yo, I need help with my finger. And they're like, all right, well, you're in the back of the line. So I had to be like, yo, it's something with this. And they helped me. No one was there, too. That's what made me a little more mad. If there was an elder person or someone else there, who was in critical condition, who needed help before me, I get it. But, you say finger, they're like, yeah, there's a couple chairs over there you can go sit at. But you say, hey, man, I'm just here to get checked out. And that's something you guys should do. If I had ad space right here, I think I would say, hey, it's time to go get checked out. You're a young man, 21. Doesn't hurt, man, to just go get everything checked. Real quick. You go in there. You don't gotta be sick to go into the health clinic sometimes. Just go in there and be like, hey, I'm here to get checked up on. I I saw the reason I say this is because I saw a TikTok, and there was this guy, and he went to Mexico, bachelor party with his buddies, had a great time, and then took a nap, and then 20 minutes later started seizing out, and his buddies had to bring him to the hospital, and they're like, oh, well, he's probably just kind of drunk, probably had a little bit too much to drink. We had a bachelor party, whatever, and turns out the guy had a stage 3 size tumor, size of a fist, in his brain. Do you believe that? And, sometimes, checkups don't check your brain, but maybe you're feeling a little foggy. Maybe you need to go get something checked out. I actually got made fun of sometimes. People be like, man, you're such a hypochondriac, man. Always going to get checked up. Hell yeah, man. I got to make sure I'm okay. I was it was a couple years ago, actually. My buddies were like, yeah, man, you go to the doctors for anything. Hell yeah. What if something's going wrong? You're telling me you don't want to stay ahead of that? Oh, man, I've met people, this isn't for people who don't have health care and they can't go get seen. I've had people who are working their full-time job, have great benefits and whatever. They'll be like, yeah, man, my tooth hurts and it's been hurting for 3 years. But 3 years? It's time to go get it looked at, man. You could get infections in there, bro. He went in there and he had 3 root canals he had to do. 3 of them. That's insane, man. I don't know what I would do with 3 root canals. I remember one time I went in to the dentist, and I was getting good at going to the dentist because I had braces as a kid, and I went in there, and I was like, all right, let's get it fixed. They're like, oh yeah, you might have a little cavity, and this was me before I had primary teeth. I still had baby teeth, and I was terrified, man. From then on, I was just like, oh man, I need to get better toothbrush, better toothpaste. And I was like, man, which toothpaste you recommend? Dentist is always, this Progate one, that's good. I'm like, all right, well, that's good. They always say something, as long as they don't have blank in it. And I never listen because I struggle with that sometimes. I just listen to just get my word out. I feel like that's a common thing some people do. They just listen to say their point. I've been trying to get better at that, that's for sure. I always do that. What else we got in the world today? Oh, yeah. I was saying I was at Costco and got something that, this is not a plug either. Costco did not pay me to say this. I was at Costco, and I feel a little guilty saying this, to be honest with you. I go to restaurants a lot, and there's some people like to do a lot of things that they're kind of regret doing. Some people take the Red Robin seasoning. That's never me. Some people like to take napkins and bring them in their car in the glove compartment. But me, I think my most guilty thing I think I do is I get really excited when there's plastic straws in the restaurant. I know that that may sound bad, but I just think that drinking out of paper straws, man, that's just not the move. I feel like the paper straw warms up the drink when it comes up, You'll be drinking some Pepsi or something, and the liquid is coming up through the straw, and that's just, it's almost like it's not crisp no more. Yeah, so I do feel a little guilty when I start complaining that there's paper straws at the restaurant. I know there's a lot of other things going on in the world, like war and stuff like that, and that sucks too. But yeah, man, when the restaurant when they have paper straws, that's the worst. That's something. And so we were at Costco, and I was really thankful that they had these plastic straws, and we sat down. And there's pro linemen in the world that can protect you from pass rushers. There's masks that protect you from COVID. But that cart next to your table at Costco, that is the ultimate barrier right there, man. You're eating your pizza and you have nowhere else to put your big, huge cart, so you almost encave yourself with that cart. And that's a blessing, man. That's like a warm blanket on a cold night, I think. And I'm real thankful for that. And I could sit here and talk about the low-hanging fruit of, Costco always has cheap hot dogs. And, I think that's more of a marketing scheme now at this point. They're just trying to like make people realize that they're dope because they don't make people pay for it. Just like with Arizona Teas, man. You know, that'd be a cool job to work at, Arizona Tea. I've been seeing that, like, in their office, like, you can drink any Arizona tea, which you should be able to. Like, I feel like if you work at a company and whatever they do, you should be getting hooked up somehow. Like, you work at Crocs, I hope you get a free pair of Crocs. You work at Arizona, I hope Arizona's on the tap in the break room. You know, you work at McDonald's, I hope you get a McDouble at least every 4 hours. Something like that. And I've been thinking about that, and I worked at Nordstrom's for a while. They didn't hook us up with any outfits, but they did give us discounts. And the discounts were, 20%. That's like nothing at Nordstrom's. That's like basically almost covering your tax. But, I was thankful. Just as thankful as, like, when you're at someone's house and, you hear a loud gunshot or loud sound. Oh, yeah, those are just fireworks. Really just trying to not get worried about a gunshot. Yeah, sounded like a ʔəsqʊic. That's not a gunshot. They went like da 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 da, or someone might make that into a sound or something. But that's something I've been thinking about. That's for sure. What else been going on? NFL playoffs been happening. Native Country has been still doing its thing. I was challenged in my Happy Meal challenge, and I am now in second place to Will. He beat me. He got 58 seconds at a minute and 10, so I got to shed some time on that. And I'm actually coming out of retirement out of the speed eating. I got to reclaim my title. But, dude, that's gonna be a rough one, but I think I could do it. I think I can. I think my Happy Meal challenge is my biggest foe I've defeated in life. But yeah, what else is going on? Not much else going on in the world, man. Woman, beast. What I like to do on here is just talk one quick headline or something. Let's go see what else we have going on in the world today. Actually, what's up? Look up I'm going to look up top 300 questions. Oh, yeah, I've been watching a lot of Amazing Race, man. If you guys haven't watched Amazing Race, that's one of my favorite shows. I love that show. I don't know. It's just a good show. Okay, top 200 questions to get to know someone. Okay, here we go. We're going to look the other way. Anyone think of a number between 1 and 200? I'm going to go 163. Okay, here we go. 163. If you could time travel. Oh, okay, we've done this question countless of times. Okay, we're going to give me a number. 76. 76. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Looks like what does your family think of your career? I think my family's pretty damn awesome with my career and what I decided to do. That goes for like my inner family, my outer family, everybody. Everyone's been super supportive. So I can't even complain about that. I feel like that's a very great advantage I've had in my life to be able to do whatever. All right, let's see. Next part. Let's go 54. Zachary Orr's number on the Ravens when he used to play. How old were you when you started working? Oh, man. When I first started working, I got a job with my grandpa building maintenance, and it was through our summer youth program in staləḻ. And, man, it was dope. So, like, I got to see, like, maintenance type work. This is, like, blue-collar type work. Handsy, we were like fulfilling requests for the tribe, and I remember one of the jobs we did. I didn't sign an NDA, so I could talk about this or nothing like that. The resort or casino actually needs to. Hotels, they have to get new beds every certain amount of years, and I think they do it by floors and they buy it at separate times, or maybe I don't know how they do it, but we only had to do like 6 floors. Only 6 floors though. Think there's probably like 16, I don't know, maybe like 40 rooms per level. So there's quite a bit of beds. We could only fit about maybe 22 beds on a flatbed that we had. And I remember picking these beds up, and it was a fun job. And I would do it today because it was just kind of cool. Like, you got basically, it felt like you were like a bounty hunter almost as a kid. You go to work and you figure out, hey, we have a work order to go fulfill this. It's like, all right, this elder needs AC. Let's go do it. And then that one, it was like, oh, you guys got to go get the beds and bring them to elders. I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool. And we actually brought a bed over to an elder one time at the time, and I knocked on their door and say, hey, we have your bed ready. And the elder answers the door, kind of looks like I was bothering him a little bit. Maybe Wheel of Fortune was on or something. And he proceeds to say, well, where's my bed frame for the bed? And I was like, well, we're not there yet. We haven't got there yet. In the most respectful way, of course. But he was mad. He's like, how are you going to give me a bed without a bed frame? I'm not laying on the floor. And I proposed maybe we could put it in the garage until it's here, or maybe we could put it in the living room standing up. And he's like, I don't got that much space. And I said, well, sorry, sir, this is like my first week. I'm like 15. But, we'll figure this out. We'll get that bed frame to you. I'll put you on the first call on the list. And then my grandpa stepped in and he took care of it then. But that was eventful as a kid. That was like my first, felt like retail work or something. Like, you're communicating with someone in a job, at least, I'm not saying, I never communicated with anyone, but yeah. Let's do another question before we go. Let's go 111. That's so cool. Okay, 111. What can always bring your family together? Oh, food, man. You say food, 90% of the time that's going to work. I feel like that's a pretty average answer, though. Like, you say, hey, let's get together, go to pizza. People are going to be like, all right, let's go. Or like, you do something that's, let's go eat after. And that's usually what I would do. But anyways, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening today. And before we go on the more dry questions, we don't need to do that. Remember, in your Lushootseed, H-Huts is red. Don't forget that, man. Forget a little piece of it every day. Something. I've already said that before. I could have done a little bit more research. But I just want to say thanks. Today is actually January. And this was recorded in the month of January in the year 2023. At the time, 4:34 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I just want to say thanks again, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for being here and listening. Hoi.